Dresses hanging in the wind tonight, silent witnesses to stories untold. Sisters, mothers, daughters out of sight, their voices echo, brave and bold. Every face upon the missing wall has a name, a dream, a beating heart. We won't let their memory fall. Each one precious from the start. They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand up, speak out, don't turn away. Search for justice every day. They matter, and we'll never stop the fight. They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand up, speak out, don't turn away. Search for justice every day. They matter, and we'll never stop the fight. Indigenous people, strong and free, women, men, and children too. Your lives have meaning, you belong. We hear your voices call. All lives matter in this sacred space. Every soul within our human race. True seekers, junkies, unite. We are family, we'll make this right. We will stand up and join the fight. Fight on! They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand together, search as one, until every case is done. They matter, and love will light the way. Red dresses dancing in the light, reminding us to never give up the fight. We all matter, we all matter, we all matter. One human family, standing together. Red dresses dancing in the light, reminding us to never give up the fight. We all matter, we all matter, we all matter. One human family, standing together.
On the air, it's Trial Junkies United with your host, Z.
Doc. Well, this better not be an April Fool's joke. That's what a mother said when she was told her daughter had been shot. But it wasn't a joke. And what happened next is a story of injustice that's been buried for over 78 years. Welcome to Trial Junkies United presents Justice After Dark. We've kind of done a little rebranding. Tonight's Thursday night, and that means we're dedicating this episode, of course, to the missing and murdered Indigenous peoples. Greetings to all of our truth seekers, the justice warriors, and the trial junkies. I'm Z, your storyteller in the wilderness of injustice, and my ride or die Doc is riding shotgun as we navigate the darkness where the predators hunt and the system fails. Are you guys ready to ride? Doc, how about you?
Well, you know that I'm always ready.
I do. And this is going to be a story they don't want us to tell. So buckle up. You know, every Thursday we're honoring the Indigenous and Native American brothers and sisters. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to talk about Callie Owl. And this is a picture of her if I, whoops, got to hit the next button. On April 1st, 1948, Callie was working in her garden. Her son runs up to her and tells her that her daughter has been shot. Now, it was April Fool's Day, so Callie said, "This better not be an April Fool's joke." And her son replied, "No, Mama, it's true." Callie rushed to Cherokee Hospital, where her 24-year-old daughter, Dora Owl George, was still alive. But shortly after she got there, it was too late. Dora had died from the gunshot wound to her stomach, and she left behind an 8-month-old daughter and a 3-year-old son who were never going to know their mother. And tonight on Justice After Dark, we're going to share Dora's story because her name deserves to be remembered. And welcome to everyone. We've got Kerrville was first after Fowler because you got to show the love to the mods.
Well,
We
of
have Irish
course.
Amy. Hey, Rev. We have Chris G, who got notified Barbara Hall, and I appreciate you helping me out there,
Hey,
Chris.
therapist, you know.
Yay, therapist, you know, because I'm usually running late, so it helps. I appreciate it, guys. So let's go ahead with our story. This is a picture of Dora, and she was a beautiful young lady. And you might be asking yourself, why are we going to cover a case that happened in 1948? Why are we going back 78 years? Well, I'll tell you, because every single life matters. It doesn't matter if you were deleted yesterday or 78 years ago. Your life had value. You had family who loved you and cared for you, and their stories deserve to be told. And when we look at cases like Dora's, we can see the injustice so clearly. And we see how the system failed her. We see how violence destroyed not just one life, but generations of her family. And this is what we stand for at Trial Junkies United. We stand against injustice. So no matter when it happened, we believe that every victim deserves to have their story told and their names remembered and their life honored. So the families, we want to make sure that we do this properly for them. The fight for justice doesn't have an expiration date, you guys. So let's start with Dora Owl George. She was a real person. She wasn't just a statistic. She wasn't just another name in a newspaper archive collecting dust. She was a daughter who loved her mama, a mother who should have been able to watch her children grow up, a woman who had dreams and hopes and a future that was stolen from her. And so let's go back to 1948. Well, actually, it was 1947. And we're going to shine a light on the injustice. Okay. Now, Dora, and her full name was Dora Owl George. She was born on October 24th of 1924 in the Birdtown community of Cherokee, North Carolina. And she was a member of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. She was married to Sherman George and was the daughter of Samuel Owl and Callie Smith Owl. She had her 2 children, her daughter Kathy, 8 months old, and her son Johnny, who was just 3. And she was only 24 years old when her life was taken. They said Dora was tiny but feisty. She wouldn't take crap off anyone. She had spirit that couldn't be dimmed. And she was working an honest job at the bus station there in Cherokee, North Carolina. And this bus station is in the middle of town, okay? Middle of town. She works there. And on April 1st of 1948, Dora's at work at the bus station, and her coworker, Edith McCoy, is with her, another young Cherokee woman, and the bus station in the broad daylight, middle of town. Okay. They're working. And Doc, this is when everything changes
Hmm.
because what happens is a Mrs. Loy B. Brock arrived. She's 41 years old and she operated a restaurant in Hazelwood, North Carolina. And this is up in Haywood County. She came with another identified woman, uh, but they still don't say anything about the woman that was with her. And some reports don't mention her. So there is some conflicting information. And here's where the story gets even more tragic. See, Mrs. Brock had mistaken Dora for someone else. She thought Dora was another woman who's having an affair with her husband. She called Dora by another name and she made them get into the car, her and Edith, because she had a weapon that carries bullets, if you know what I mean. And then she took them or had them drive almost an hour away up to Panther Creek. And the whole time, Dora's trying to tell her, that's not my name. That's not who I am. I have two small kids. They need their mother. But Mrs. Brock's not listening. Now, this is broad daylight, middle of town. Two young women taken from the bus station, held with this weapon. And, I mean, can you imagine the terror that they must have felt? Mrs. Brock took them, like I said, it's an hour away. And when you get out there, it's a recreational area. There are long, windy roads. She ordered them out of the car and made them walk. And they said it could have been maybe a mile and a half to 2 miles. Now, the whole time, Dora's telling them about her children. I have babies at home. But when they got to a certain spot, Mrs. Brock used that weapon with bullets and shot Dora right in the stomach. After she does that, she leaves them, offers no medical help, no way to get out of there. She just walks away, leaves Dora bleeding out in the middle of nowhere. Edith's there trying to help her. Okay, so we've got the picture. Somehow, with Edith's help, Dora manages to get to the road. Oh, thank you, Barbara. And you know what? They said it was just pure grit and determination. She wanted to get home to her babies. Once they got to the road, they were able to get a cab to get to the Cherokee Hospital because she did have a will to live. She had something to live for. And according to the doctor, if she had got there maybe 30 minutes before, she may have lived. Think about that.
And all that because of mistaken identity.
Yep.
Oh,
But she didn't make it. And we get to the heartbreaking moment I was telling you about because, as you know, we saw Callie's out there working in her garden. You know, she thinks the boys are pulling a joke on her. But when she gets to the hospital, she finds out this was no April Fool's joke. And her daughter was gone, leaving behind those two little babies, 8-month-old Kathy and 3-year-old Johnny. Now, Dora Owl George was deleted by Lowell Brock due to mistaken identity. So really, she died for nothing, you guys. She wasn't that woman that Mrs. Brock thought she was searching for. She was just a young mother trying to make a living to support her children. And what about Edith McCoy? She'd been kidnapped. She had to witness her friend go through this. She was a victim of Mrs. Brock's violence. But in the newspaper and the court records, she's barely acknowledged. They kept calling her the other Indian girl. Hey, Julie. And I suppose that was their way of trying to dismiss her, trying to make her seem she wasn't important. because they wouldn't even use her name. They belittled her, minimized her experience, and treated her like she didn't matter.
It just goes to show how little things have changed since then.
Exactly. Because that was 1947 and into 1948, and it's still the same way.
Hmm.
Now, Mrs. Lowell Brock was arrested. She was charged with first-degree murder, and the trial was held in Graham County Superior Court, and it ended in a mistrial. Shocker. Then the court case got moved to Swain County, and nobody knows why, but they moved it. So Edith's not getting justice. She was terrorized, kidnapped, forced to walk for miles, watch her friend be deleted. And then the system doesn't even afford her the dignity of using her name. But on September 9th of 1949, more than a year after she deleted Dora, Lowell Brock was given a plea deal. You heard me right. Even then, they loved a plea deal. And she pleaded guilty to manslaughter and served 5 years for kidnapping 2 women with a weapon with bullets, driving them an hour away, marching them for a couple of miles while one of them begged for her life before shooting her in the stomach and leaving her to die. 5 years. That's it, 5. And like one of her family members said, I heard that was one of the most painful ways to die because you slowly bleed out. Now, before we go any further, let's do something here. Let's have some important talk, okay? This is going to be real talk for some of you. If you think murder or violence is the answer to love or jealousy, oh, stop right there. It's not. The truth is simple. It might be complex for some people to hear, but if you have to fight someone to keep your person, they were never truly yours to begin with. Young women and young men everywhere, no one is worth destroying your life over. Not one person, because here's what real love looks like. It's 2 people choosing each other every day, standing side by side as partners, not possessions, not control, not a competition, not causing you to worry or jealousy. Real love doesn't require you to fight others. If someone truly loves you, they're committed to you. They aren't looking elsewhere. They aren't making you compete or prove yourself. Because if you are, you've already lost the fight. So don't sacrifice your freedom and your future or your life for infatuation that masquerades as love. Don't get involved with someone who wouldn't even visit you in prison. And leave married people alone. Don't let jealousy or possessiveness turn you into someone you're not. You are worth far more than that. Your life holds much more value than a toxic situation that makes you feel like you have to fight to stay afloat. So walk away.
I think that's a good topic for the chat group. Is this the world that we live in right now has become such that if somebody sees somebody there and they're attracted and they see a wedding ring, it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
When did that change, and why does that not make a difference anymore?
And I know they like to say that, well, it's the person that you're married to that has the bond with you.
Sure.
But why are you even messing around with that? Why even flirt with that idea?
Hey.
The person's taken. What are you trying to do by getting their attention? See, you have to start examining yourself and find out what's lacking in you. Because yes, the person with the ring has the responsibility to honor it. But, you also, as another person, shouldn't be going and trying to see if you can get that person to not honor the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be flirting. It just doesn't need to be done. Because like I said, if you're into the games, you've already lost.
Well, if you're doing that as the married person, it's basically, in my estimation anyway, a little bit of unfaithfulness
Oh,
to
definitely.
your mate. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you made a vow when you got married to
Yep.
love and honor and cherish that person.
Yep.
So
Exactly. So, but choose yourself, choose your future. Like I said, no one is worth it because they're not yours if you're having to fight.
mhm.
And that's exactly what Mrs. Brock didn't do.
Yep.
Instead of either walking away or choosing herself, she chose violence. And in doing so, she didn't just delete Dora, she destroyed a whole family. Think about that. Her whole family for generations. And she ended up taking the wrong woman's life. All that rage and violence was directed at someone who was actually completely innocent because it wasn't Dora. This is a picture of her daughter, Kathy, all grown up. And so she did get 5 years in prison, but we're talking about deliberate kidnapping of two women and the deletion of another. And this took planning, it was premeditated because she drove almost an hour to get there and then drove him back almost over an hour. So see, there was a lot of time that she could have changed her mind. So let me tell you what happened to Dora's children, because this is where you'll really see the ripple effect of violence. And like I said, Kathy was 8 months old. This is her as an adult, and Johnny was 3. But they were raised separately by different families. They got separated. Willie Owl and Stella McCoy Owl adopted Kathy, but the siblings didn't reconnect until much later in life. I mean, can you imagine growing up without your brother or sister after losing your mom? Now, Kathy was 8 months old, so she might not have remembered, but think of that little 3-year-old. He knew he had a baby sister,
Yeah.
you know?
And he
And
remembered mom. You can
and he remembered
guarantee that.
mom.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Now, Kathy's daughter, Rhonda, said it took away from all of us. It took away from mom. It took away from me and my brother Albert. And she said, and it's even taken away from her grandson Dylan. And that's 4 generations that got affected by violence, all because of one woman's jealousy. And this is Kathy, her grandson Dylan, and a couple of the other grandkids holding up pictures of Dora. And Kathy's grandson Albert said, I never got to meet my grandmother, and my mom never really got to meet her mom. We were robbed of the knowledge, the generational knowledge that she would have passed down to us, because that's big in the Cherokee culture. So this isn't, you have to think of how they they passed down their wisdom, and all of that got lost. And Kathy's great grandson Dylan, he never got a chance to meet his mom, his grandmother Dora. He says, I feel like Nana didn't get to create memories with her family because she was taken away from her. It makes me mad. Now, I did find out Dylan is a photographer and he does help with MMIP doing pictures and things. So, he is helping out with his, community, which is commendable. Now, Kathy's niece, Johnny's daughter, because her son, Johnny, he died at 44. So, and his daughter and her brother, she was actually named Dora after her grandmother. She finally met Kathy when she was 27. So she met her aunt for the first time when she was 27 years old. And she said it felt like finally discovering who she truly was. 27 years old before she could meet her own aunt. That's how long this family had been fractured. Now, there are many questions that really remain unanswered in this case. And we're going to discuss some of those questions because they're crucial and they show how little value was given to Dora's life and the pursuit of justice for her family. First, who was the woman supposedly with Mrs. Brock? The woman she thought, and who was the woman she thought Dora was? That woman's name has never been revealed. Was she ever told that someone died because they had been mistaken for her? What about Mr. Brock if he was a cheater? And what was his part in all this? I mean, was he even a cheater? Or was Mrs. Brock just loony? I mean, hey, gotta ask. Second, who was the unidentified woman along with Mrs. Brock? Because some say she had someone with them, some say she didn't, which would make sense if she was controlling two other women. Now, this woman was present when Dora and Edith were kidnapped and Dora was deleted, yet she's never named in one newspaper article. Was she charged? Was she a witness? Why is her name protected while Dora's name is plastered across the papers? And they imply that it was a domestic dispute, implying that Dora was having an affair, which she was not. Third, how did this case get transferred from Graham County to Swain County? What happened behind the scenes that allowed the transfer and ultimately led to a plea deal for manslaughter? And fourth, why was Lowell Brock even offered a plea deal? Because this was premeditated if I ever saw it. She kidnapped two women. She had a weapon. It's broad daylight. She made them leave an hour away, marched them a couple of miles before she shot Dora in cold blood, refused medical help, and left her to die. How does that become manslaughter? And fifth, what happened to Edith McCoy after this? Can you imagine the trauma that she went through? How did she testify at the trial? What was the impact on her whole life of going through this experience? And why was she erased from this story, referred to only as the other Indian girl, as if she didn't deserve a name? These questions are important because they really reveal how little value was given to Dora's life and the pursuit of justice for her family. Someone knows something, and someone always does. But today, thanks to Brooklyn Brown, she's a reporter for the Cherokee One Feather, the tribal newspaper of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Dora's story is being researched and shared. She was able to go through letters that had been written by Dora and looked at many photos. And Brooklyn has explored the powerful and heartbreaking story of Dora Owl. And through her reporting and conversations with Dora's family, we're learning about the generational impact of her loss and the importance of remembering the names and stories that history tries to erase. Brooklyn keeps digging for more details about Edith, trying to understand how that case was transferred from Swain County and undercover how Lloyd Brock managed to get that plea deal. Was it because she was a white woman? Don't know. Because Dora's story deserves the full truth. And Dora's case is not unique, you guys. She's one of the over 35 documented cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women within the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Now, that's according to a 2016 National Institute of Justice report. But we know more than 80% of the American Indian and Alaskan Native women have experienced violence in their lifetime. We know the statistics are off. On some reservations, Indigenous women are murdered at more than 10 times the national average. Indica Climbing Bear, who has researched these cases, noticed a disturbing pattern. She says, I got to digging into it and realized that a lot of it was domestic violence or dating violence. And she advocates treating domestic violence as a habitual offense with serious consequences, similar to how a DUI would be handled. Now, because the truth is the pattern of violence against Indigenous women, it didn't start in 1948, and it didn't end there either. It continues to this day. We know every killer relies on our silence, and every system failure depends on people looking the other way. Every injustice depends on our forgetting. But Dora Owl George deserved justice, and her children deserve to grow up knowing their mom. Her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, they deserve to know her. Oh, you're right, Julie. I mean, we're just focusing on this story with the Cherokee women because that's the tribe that Dora was affiliated with. But yeah, it goes through all the tribes. The fact that her killer received such a minimal sentence, if you can even call 5 years a real sentence for deleting someone, I mean, really. And that's a stain on our justice system. Someone can steal something and get a lot larger sentence than that. I mean, come on. Dora was buried in the Owl family cemetery on Old Road number 4 in Cherokee, North Carolina. And she was laid to rest there showing on April 1st, 1948 at only 24 years old. I mean, that just breaks my heart thinking that poor young girl passed away at such a young age. But thanks to her descendants and these Indigenous journalists, her story's being told, and they're going to refuse to let these cases be buried. And we're going to remember her name. So let's think about that. And next, we're going to go over some missing people. And our beautiful artwork here was done by our own mod, Irish Amy. Thank you. And remember, you can save a life. Remember these faces when you're out in public, at the stores, public transit, anywhere. Stay aware of your surroundings. Some people we know leave voluntarily, then get in danger and can't come home. Others never had the choice. So we know human trafficking and missing persons cases happen everywhere, and victims often go unnoticed. And so when you see someone, it's someone's family member. Trust your instincts, recognize someone from today's cases, or notice something just isn't right with the situation. Contact the authorities immediately. Don't assume someone else is going to call. Now, if you're scared to call the police, we've set up a tip line for an email. It's just tips, the number 4, trialjunkiesunited@gmail.com. We'll pass along the information about missing persons or individuals in danger. You have the chance to save a life, so use it. Our first person her name is Happy Mary Charles. She was 43 when she disappeared on April 3rd of 2017. She'd be 51 right now. She disappeared from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada. She's with the First Nations tribe, one of the First Nations tribes. She had brown eyes, dark frame prescription glasses. Her hair is a brown black. She's 5'3" and weighed 115 pounds, thin build. She was last seen wearing a long black wool coat, a black leather jacket, sweatpants, blue denim pants, and white shoes, and a small silver locket with a picture of her son inside. She was carrying a black backpack, a colored purse with long straps, and a plastic bag. Her distinguishing marks are a scar on her upper lip, and on her right cheek, a rose tattoo is also on her left hand. And she was seen that morning on security. You can see the photo there at Walmart with her boyfriend. And then later she was seen at Prince Albert Collegiate Institute by herself, and last seen in the vicinity of PACI High School, 45 through the 20th Street, West in Prince Albert. If anybody has any information, call the Prince Albert Police at 306-953-4248 or Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-8477. The case number is 2017-10525, or contact your local police. Now, this next case is this is Leroy. And we got a special request that was put out on Facebook from the Missing Stolen Spirits group, because Bratty said this is a good friend of hers. Her family grew up together. Is the uncle to my niece and nephews. She said, we're constantly making and sharing flyers for other families. So now I'm asking that you all please do the same for me and share this as much as you can. His name is Jose Leroy Salas. He's 63. He went missing on the 24th of October here at 7:30 a.m. in Farmington, New Mexico. He is Hispanic. He has brown hair, brown eyes, black hair that's kind of thinning. He's only 5'2" and weighs 130 pounds. He was scheduled for work, and he was last seen headed westbound towards Kirtland at 7:30 a.m., driving a white 2012 Nissan Frontier, 2 doors, tinted windows, New Mexico plate, P as in Paul, Z as in zebra, H as in hello, 076. The picture is a stock photo of the vehicle similar to his. If you have any information on Leroy, contact the Farmington Police Dispatch. The case number is 25-65950, and the number is 505-334-6622. And let's share this for Bratty, because they do a lot for a lot of the different families. So let's do her a favor and get this out there. Bring Leroy home. Now, this is Melissa Marie. I'm not going to try her name. It's Tsinnijinnie.
Tsinnijinnie.
I'm not. Okay.
I
Thanks.
don't know that. I mean, I could be wrong.
Hey, sounds good to me. Melissa is 34. She went missing on October 3rd from San Bernardino, California. Now, we don't have any other information on her. Melissa left her home on October 3rd with the man pictured there named of Michael Buchanan. That same day, she did call her family, stating she was trying to find her way home from San Bernardino. She's not been seen or heard from since. So contact the Navajo Police Department in Tuba City and 928-283-3111 or 3112, or contact your local police if you have any information. Next, we have Tanya Renee Chinanai, 37. She disappeared July 1st of 2025. Yeah. Okay, Julie, I'm going to trust you on that.
Uh-huh.
I hate it when I mess up names. And she was from Isleta, New Mexico. She has brown eyes, brown hair, 5'7", 157 pounds. And if you know anything about Tanya, contact the Islet Police Department at 505-869-3030. Call the local police. Now, here's another older case, because we like to throw them in once in a while because they still matter, just like Dora. And this is, whoops, I went too far. Okay. This one is Teresa A. Concha. She was 36 when she left or disappeared, and now she would be 45. She disappeared on May the 5th of 2016 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is with the Pueblo of Taos tribe. Her date of birth was 11/22/1979. Her height is 5 foot to 5'4", so they don't really know. Weight 118. Hair is black. Her eyes are brown. She was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. Distinguishing characteristics: she has a tattoo of a sea turtle in the center of her chest. A photo of it is posted with the case summary She has crooked teeth. Details of her disappearance was she was last seen in Albuquerque on May 5th, 2016. She was homeless at the time of her disappearance. She has relatives in the Taos Pueblo, New Mexico, and on the San Carlos Apache Reservation in Arizona. The date she last contacted them is unknown. We got very few details in this case. It is being investigated by the Taos Pueblo Department at 575-758-8645. So those are our missing people. Keep an eye out, everybody. Yeah, Chris, I agree. Michael Buchanan kind of gave me kind of the icky vibes too. So Dora Owl George, say her name. She was a mother, a daughter, a sister, a Cherokee woman. She mattered. Her life had value. And we're not going to forget her. Tonight on Justice After Dark, we told a story that matters. Dora Owl deserves to be remembered. Her family, her children miss her terribly. Remembering every killer depends on our silence, and don't give it to them, you guys. If you know something about Dora's case or any case, speak up, because it wasn't just a mannequin. It never is. Someone knows something. Someone always does. And remember, our hashtag silence is betrayal. Now, we decided that we were going to rebrand a little bit to try and help the algorithm with YouTube. And so that's why if you've looked at our page, you'll see we've got a new banner, and we've emphasized that we are doing different kinds of cases, that, we do the MMIP cases, we do cold cases, we do doe cases. We also do just cases that need to be looked at, legal issues that we see that come up. I know last Sunday, some people weren't as thrilled with the subject, but the legal issues with the immigration, I don't look at it from a political standpoint. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of our rights being taken away. What will happen to us? So that's something to think about. And so sometimes we'll go into those legal issues, but we will do trials at times where we give updates. We'll never do like total trial coverage, even though I am known as the trial junkie. That's how I started out. And so I always have my green cat.
In order to get the algorithm, to understand what we're about, because things have changed a little.
Yeah.
As Z just said, we're not doing just trials anymore. So, and it hasn't been that way for quite a while. So, we're just trying to get things better aligned, and felt that this was needed in order to do that.
Yeah, because I still love trials, but I'd like to cover a lot. I'd like to dig into true crime. And what Doc and I are trying to build, and that's why we have the Discord server too, is we're trying to build a community. We want to build a community where people care about the cases, that we're not just the trial junkies, but we're the truth seekers and the justice warriors. If there's a way we can assist, we will do it. If we can email, if we can brainstorm, and we've done that with Katrina's aunt's case, and we'll do that again. We need to set up some events to come up and come up with some ideas, because we want to help. We want to be of service in some way. So we don't want to just talk about the cases. We want to see what we can do, and that's what's important. Yeah, there are a lot of UK cases. Sunday, we're going to be actually having a couple of guests. Pammy's not here tonight, but we're going to be having her daughter Whitney and Melissa with Advocacy Con. They're going to come on and chat about how they went from doing, podcasting to actually doing advocacy work. And that's really cool. Yeah, Barbara, I love trials too. And we will do updates on trials. And on my social media, I do try and get verdict information out. Um, so when I can, I do that. Um, right now, we're trying to do a whole bunch, and Doc's always telling me I'm trying to do too much at one time, but I can't help it. I just go in a bunch of different ways. I like the name Raven
She
too,
she
Julie.
finds she finds a rabbit hole and she can't help herself.
I can't, you know. I still like I said, I like the trials. We know every Thursday is always going to be dedicated to the missing and murdered Indigenous people. I mean, that's Thursday nights. And we will normally share the missing and murdered Indigenous persons posters on Thursday and Sundays. Tonight, every once in a while, we'll throw somebody else into the mix, but we focus on them because they're the ones that do not get the acknowledgement that much. And so that's why it's mainly our focus. For Brady, we wanted to get Leroy's picture out there. I know I had put someone out there for Chris at one time. Chris G had asked me to put a woman's, oh, and now the name escapes me. But we try and get these people out there. A lot of them get coverage, but we know our Native and Indigenous brothers and sisters don't get the coverage. So that's why that's our main focus. We will give trial updates and legal deep dives on stories that just need a voice. I know with the trial cases, Sean Grayson, which we know is the one that deleted Sonia Massey, we did see where he did go to prison. He got a prison sentence. Not enough, if you ask me. Just saying. I got a problem with that case, that he didn't get enough prison time. And he was the next deputy that went in there and he deleted that woman on purpose. Yeah, if you guys have a case that you want me to look into, send it my way. Sometimes it takes a little bit before it comes up on the show because some things are planned out, weeks in advance, and then sometimes things aren't. So you just never know. And sometimes we can move things around unless we have a guest. And I do love interacting with everyone. When we have a guest, I don't get to chat with you guys as much as possible because I'm so focused on the guest. So I don't want you ever to think that we don't appreciate you guys, because we do. Right, Doc?
If it wasn't for all these guys, we wouldn't be here. He wouldn't,
Exactly.
so wouldn't have a voice. So,
Right. And that's really important. So if you do have cases, or if you think there's someone that you think would be a good guest, or someone that wants to tell their story, I'd love to have guests. I love to chat with people. And if they want to tell their story or their family story, we're willing to give them that platform. So let people know we're a safe place. We don't do judgments here. I will not let anyone say anything negative about anyone that has addiction issues, because until you walk in their shoes, we don't know what they've gone through. And that does not excuse the violence against them. So that's something we have to think about. So I just want to make sure that you know how much we love you all. And if you guys know anybody that's in the legal field, the nursing field, the medical field, the attorney, any kind of expert, hey, we'd love to have those kind of guests too. I'm open. I'm open to, let's get some stories told. Let's get some information. Hey, Farquami De. And always give love to my mods. I know everybody says they have the best mods, but I really do. They are my little sisters. Lazy River, when he shows up, he's like that younger brother. And so we appreciate our mods here, and I trust them. I let my mods take care of things for me, because they get messages from me on show night that says, I'm running late, help me. Yeah, Fowler, you heard me. Yep, legal field. I mean, all different fields. I mean, we want to talk to people in the medical field. Hey, if anybody knows an ME, a retired ME, we have questions, There's things to tell. Um, okay, Barbara. Well, yeah, we'll look into that. I would love to if you would like to be a guest to get your son's story out there, or if you don't want to be a guest, whatever makes you comfortable. If people want to be on camera, great. If you kind of don't want to be on camera, we can let your voice be heard. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you see a poster of a missing Native or Indigenous person, and I haven't put them up yet, let me know. I have a huge list on an Excel sheet that I'm working on, and I get behind on posting stuff. I'm trying to keep up with everything, but it's just me doing all this. Doc is my tech dude. He has to come up with how we do things when I get these crazy ideas. That keeps him busy. Right, Doc?
Yes, it does.
He never knows what I'm going to ask because we've actually started doing some TikToks now to try and get people interested in some of our cases to come over. We're trying to get more people to look at our MMIP cases because we need to get this out there. Hey, ex-federal employee. Yeah, we have questions. Anybody know anyone that was an expert in the dark web? I would love to talk to someone about the dark web. I don't want to go there. I just want some information. So if anybody knows anyone that does that kind of stuff,
I would like to know from a medical examiner's point of view how somebody can die of hypothermia in the dead of summer.
Well, we could take you up to Montana and they'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Or Wyoming, whichever state that was that they like to say that.
Uh-huh.
And we do deal with a lot of the cold cases. So every once in a while, you guys, we will talk about a current case. If something comes up and we think it needs attention, because I know there's one that I'm looking at in Oklahoma that this Sunday we have Advocacy Con coming. And if you guys have questions for him, let me know. Send them to me. trialjunkiesunited@gmail.com is my email. We're going to, after that, possibly do that case because it's current, and I'm going to try and reach out to some people and see if we can get some guests for that one. But I want to know what you guys like to hear too. Every once in a while, we're going to just do a story just because it intrigues me. My mind goes into different places. And I love to do the music when I can, and I do change up songs now and then, but sometimes I don't. That's kind of my creative outlet. So I like to do songs, and if anybody's, eventually I want to do something. I don't know if I want to open up a separate channel for it because we do songs with messages. Yeah, we discovered North Dakota too. And last I talked to Karen about her nephew, Joe. The last somebody saw him, he was in California. He had been in the hospital, but we still can't track him. So we're still looking for Joe Fox. So remember that. Joe, if you're out there, we're looking for you. I need to get something on TikTok about that. That might be something he might see.
Okay.
If he's got a phone.
Okay.
But
you can do that.
So this is kind of what our rebranding's going on. Like I said, anybody got ideas, just give us a little ring a ding ding and we're open. We're easy to work with. Haven't scared anybody yet. But I thank you guys.
I'm scared.
Doc. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. I love you, Doc.
Okay.
And as you can see, Moo's in her bed. I sprayed some catnip spray. So for anyone that has a YouTube channel and your cats are getting in the way, catnip spray. It doesn't make a mess. And it'll put your cat quiet down. At least mine does. She doesn't get crazy. So thank you guys for taking the time to be with us tonight. If you appreciate what we do, You can buy us a cup of coffee or you can send us a Venmo. But if your funds are limited, I know people are having a tough time. That's fine. You can support us by watching, sharing, subscribing, commenting, hitting that like button. Those algorithms work behind the scenes to help us reach more people, and that gets the stories out there to more people. And that's what we want. So until next time, you guys, I want you all to stay informed, stay compassionate, keep seeking truth, and keep demanding justice, and never stop speaking up. We love you all. We're going to see you on Sunday with Advocacy Con. And just remember, Trial Junkies United presents Justice After Dark now. Ciao, everybody. We love you.
Dresses hanging in the wind tonight, silent witnesses to stories untold. Sisters, mothers, daughters out of sight, their voices echo, brave and bold. Every face upon the missing wall has a name, a dream, a beating heart. We won't let their memory fall. Each one precious from the start. They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand up, speak out, don't turn away. Search for justice every day. They matter, and we'll never stop the fight. They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand up, speak out, don't turn away. Search for justice every day. They matter, and we'll never stop the fight. Indigenous people, strong and free, women, men, and children too. Your lives have meaning, you belong. We hear your voices call. All lives matter in this sacred space. Every soul within our human race. True seekers, justice unite. We are family, we'll make this right. We will stand up and join the fight. Fight on! They matter, every single soul. They matter, we won't let go. Stand together, search as one, until every case is done. They matter, and love will light the way. Red dresses dancing in the light, reminding us to never give up the fight. We all matter, we all matter, we all matter. One human family, standing together. Red dresses dancing in the light, reminding us to never give up the fight. We all matter, we all matter, we all matter. One human family.